Hey everybody, happy Slurpee Day. It is July 11, 2011.
Hi.
Fail. Thank you for listening to Project White Rice. This is Christian,
And I am Zach.
Zach, and Chris.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about movies
Or movie theaters.
movies in general because
Well, movie
you
theaters.
just recently saw Transformers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
And I am going to go see next week, and I'm pretty sure everyone wants to go see Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2.
I think I'm not really sure which movies of Harry Potter I've watched because there's so many different movies that I'm not really aware
Which
of.
order you went in?
Yeah, like I could have watched.
You didn't read the books when you were a kid?
No, I was not a reader. Tell you that. My brother was. He read them all like 5 times, but not me.
Well, I read them all, and I'm excited.
What are you excited for the movie or?
I'm
like,
excited for the
story?
movie. I can't wait for it to end. Actually, no, but actually, one of the interesting things, my sister, she has a Tumblr, and she was showing me this interesting post that said that it was actually for all the movies, for all the Harry Potter movies, it took them a whole decade for them to make the 7 years of Harry Potter.
Is that
So it started back in 2001, same year as 9/11 and stuff, and now it's going to end in 2011.
Oh, they're ending it this year.
Yeah,
is this the very last movie?
This is the very last movie following the very last book.
J.K. Rowling, make some more.
I think she's planning on to somehow extending just so she can get more money. I mean, she's already.
No, she has that new internet thing.
I don't know what that is, but
With
one of the interesting was that she is actually, I guess, more worth more than the Queen. Something like that. I don't know. I remember it was a long time ago. They released a post about saying, how much are people worth? And, it's like, I think Bill Gates is worth $2 billion or something like that because, he made Microsoft and people claim it's the internet too. J.K. Rowling is worth more than the Queen.
That is interesting. I've never heard that before. Wait, does that mean that Bill Gates is worth more than the Queen as well?
I don't know. I just threw out a number, but I'm pretty sure he's not more worth than the Queen.
So,
well, maybe he is
then
because
J.K. Rowling is worth more than
the
Bill
Queen.
Gates as well.
I don't know. I know Oprah's worth at least $100 million or something like that, or maybe less than that.
Too much.
Anyway, back to the movie. Back to movies. So I still haven't seen Transformers yet. Is it worth it? Especially considering the fact that we have Megan Fox is no longer in there, and it's Michael Bay directing it. And
I like Michael Bay. I do. There's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, Michael Bay, he got too, he's too over the top or whatever." I'm like, you people, he's trying to make entertainment for this day and age. What do you see in TV? What do you see in video games? You see explosions. You see people dying left and right. You know what you see in his movies? Explosions. People dying left and right.
He's following the same trend.
He's trying to please you people.
But actually, one of the interesting things about Michael Bay was that I found I was watching G4, and how they play movies that don't suck, right?
Yeah.
And actually, one of the movies that popped up was Bad Boys.
Oh yeah,
Bad Boys. With Michael.
what's his face?
Will Smith.
Yes, Will Smith and
Martin Lawrence. I think.
Yeah,
Martin Lawrence.
Good job.
And
Shot in the ass.
I didn't. I remember that. If you guys have seen that movie, you guys would know. I remember watching the opening sequence, and then I found out it was actually directed by Michael Bay.
Well, there actually was a lot of explosions in that movie.
But it wasn't.
Now that I think of it,
not too many explosions compared to Transformers, where buildings are falling down left and right.
Oh yeah, CGI has improved since.
I don't think just CGI.
And I guess the robots might help a little bit with the whole buildings.
And exploding. But okay, so Transformers.
Okay, I'm just gonna give a review of it. What I thought of it. This doesn't mean that this is how the movie is. This is my thoughts. You don't have to get angry if you don't agree. All right, so here goes. I thought Transformers was the newest one. The name of it actually escapes me right now.
I think Revenge of the Fallen?
Revenge of the Fallen.
No, wait.
No, that was the second one.
Dark Side of the Moon?
That's it. Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. So I'll just give you kind of what happens, but not like a
spoiler or anything.
not
Don't
spoilers.
spoil it.
It's
Don't
just
spoil
okay.
because I might go see it.
In the movie, the humans apparently they kept a secret from the Autobots, which they actually say in the preview, and it was some sort of device that was going to help the race for the Cybertron, or the race of the robots. And there's... I've lost my train of thought already. This is
I think
remarkable.
if I remember from what guessing off the trailer, they're helping the Decepticons. I think something like that.
Who?
The humans or the government or something? Because I think I remember hearing that in the trailer.
So they find basically they find this the leader of the Autobots, not Optimus Prime. It's Optimus Prime's like teacher.
What?
Yeah. And he was running from the war, and he apparently crashed on the moon, which it explains in the beginning a little bit. And anyway, there's just this whole thing with them trying to save the Cybertronian race, the robot race, and there's a lot of action, a lot of fighting, a lot of talking. The one thing that I have to say I didn't like about it was it didn't really follow the robots as much as it did in the last two. A lot of the movie was following the humans and what they did throughout the battle or whatever that happened in the movie, because there's always a battle in Transformers between Autobots and Decepticons.
So it's like Shia LaBeouf, the actor, is just...
Yeah, it pretty much follows him and his new hot girlfriend.
Not Megan Fox.
Well, it's not Megan Fox. She's pretty hot. Yeah, it followed them and a couple of other, soldiers throughout a lot of it. Actually, I was surprised at how much they focused on the humans instead of the robots in this one. I don't know if you guys agree if you watched it, but I thought they focused a lot on the humans instead of the robots this time around.
So what would you say overall? Is it worth watching, or should we rent it, or no go? Like how they do in G4, like with DVD Tuesdays. Should you go watch it in a movie theater? Is it worth the respect of that? Should we Redbox it, or should we
not watch
it at all? Not watch it at all.
Okay, I think I'm kind of optimistic always about movies. I love movies, but I think you should watch it in the theater. It's a very good movie. If you have a big audience, that would help a lot, because there are comedic moments, there's action, there's suspense, there's drama, all the good stuff, and all packed into one movie, and plus explosions, so that's good too. There's just a lot of storyline. If you haven't watched the last two, don't watch this movie, because you need to kind of know what's going on. But so watch them in order. But I say go to the theater, watch it, enjoy yourself, and have a good time, because it was a great movie. I'd give it 8 out of 10.
Huh.
And the only drawbacks I can think of is just I wanted to see more robot and less Shia LaBeouf. That's all yeah.
As for me, I saw recently last movie. What was the last movie I saw? I think it was Bridesmaids.
Oh, I never did watch that.
Okay, so when I first saw the trailer for Bridesmaids, my first thought was like, oh, this is going to be like literally the girls' version of The Hangover. And I thought, oh, they're not going to forget anything. They're going to forget the bride, or something stupid's going to go down. But it kind of was like a more family-friendly girl version.
Really?
Of like The Hangover. I guess in some sense.
I heard it was kind of raunchy a little bit.
A little bit. It depends.
I heard it was.
First of all, it really was kind of like a chick flick. There's a lot of gossip and all that stuff. And the only reason I watched it was because I was watching it with my girlfriend, because she wanted to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it out on DVD yet?
No.
Oh, so you went
to the theater.
Oh.
To go. I thought we were going to watch Cars 2.
Cars 2. Okay.
Hey, don't dislike one.
No.
That's a good movie, right? I really want to. I liked Cars 1, so I really want to watch Cars 2. But so we watched Bridesmaids, and so I guess the storyline is this. I think if I remember correctly, two girls. One of them's about to get married. She selects her best friend to be the maid of honor, which plans out like all the pre-wedding stuff. And I'm losing my train of thought here.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. It's because it's been a while since I watched the movie, so I was trying to think of
how
to say it.
Let's see. So the maid of honor has to plan out all the pre-wedding stuff for the bride, like
like normal, I guess. Is that normal?
I think so. But then, so she meets a new friend, which is like and then her best friend has a new friend. Well, the one that's getting married has a new friend, and she wants to be the maid of honor.
Oh, so it's like rivalry between the old best friend and the new best friend?
Yeah, so like they're sabotaging. So like the new best friend is like sabotaging, and then that's where like all the comedy starts happening now.
Oh, all right. I thought it was just like there was a group of friends and one of them was going to get married, and they were just trying to
have one night of fun, and then it just goes insane.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it's actually like a chain of like ridiculous.
So it's a rivalry. I did not know that.
I think one of the more memorable ones, I can at least give you a scene. Maybe it'll influence you guys to watch the movie. Was when they were trying to find bridesmaids' dresses. Okay. And so
did they go to one of those clearance sales?
No, they didn't go to a clearance sale. So she goes into like some really nice top like designer, okay, we're gonna pick out these dresses, right? And then they happen to also have like a wedding dress there for the bride, so that she can try it out, see what she's gonna look like in a white dress.
Okay.
And what actually happened previously was that they were eating at a local restaurant.
Okay.
And for some reason, everyone ends up having diarrhea while trying to get the dresses on.
Oh man!
And there's only one bathroom, and that. And it just ends horribly. And I think I think you can see one of the scenes in one of the trailers. It's
so it's not ladylike at all.
Where you see the bride actually run out in the street in the wedding dress.
Oh no!
She's trying to find a bathroom. And I'll leave it at that. I'll let you try to figure out if you guys want to go watch it.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's a good movie. It's a good.
That sounds hilarious.
It's like ridiculous, and you hate like the new best friend for like the longest time. And go watch it. And I don't know, how would I rate it? I can't really say because I'm a guy.
Okay, a guy's rating. What would you rate? A guy's
rating is like you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy watching it, at least with your girlfriend, and you guys will cringe at every single like
or wife.
Comedic scene, or
girlfriend
wife,
or wife,
or
whatever,
friend or wife,
or
with a group of girls, or with a group of girls,
or boyfriend. We're not criticizing here.
Yeah, I think your boyfriend will like it too. And I would say if you were to give it out of 10, maybe a 7.
A 7 out of 10 for a guy's rating. So I can only think of what a girl's rating would be.
Because I think I'm being generous. I like being generous.
Generous. We're not great critics, guys.
We're not great critics, but
we like a lot of things.
We enjoy movies. I mean, who doesn't?
Okay. So while you're watching a movie, I've heard a lot of different things about people watching movies and like the audience, and like if it's a full audience, they have a much funner time at the movies than if it was an empty, like 5 people.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot. I
prefer. Well, then it depends, because if you're watching, like, if there's like a full pack of people and then you're watching a movie, there's always that one guy who has to talk during the entire film, and yet somehow I always seem to sit right next to that person. Either it's not even the fact that it's like left or right, but if you go to a movie theater, like you can be like on the diagonal sides and now in front of you or behind you. You always hear that person whispering. It's like, oh, hey, it's like, God dang it, I'm trying to watch a movie here. It's like, if you're about to spoil something, I'm about to turn around and punch you in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's especially if those people have already seen it like once and they're going to watch it again. It's like, oh, this is when blah, blah, blah. It's like, can I at least find out by myself and not spoil it?
I've had a lot of those kind of experiences where you're just sitting down, you're watching the movie, and all of a sudden you just hear someone. It doesn't even have to be about the movie. You just get angry all of a sudden. You're like, talking during a movie? What is this? It is annoying. I have to admit, I do not like it at all. I don't do it. In fact, my brother sometimes or my dad just sometimes talks, and I'm like, shut up.
Oh my gosh.
And I hate it when family does it, because then you just.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
Especially when it happens. Okay, this is why it's so hard for me to watch a movie with my mom. I'm not even joking. When she really wants to rent a movie, I kind of dread I just hope it's a movie that I haven't seen, so I don't want to watch it. Because anytime I'm watching a movie, she always starts turning around and asking me, "Oh, is this gonna happen next?" And then it's like, I'm watching this movie for the first time too. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's just see what happens. But she always does that.
I have a very similar story to that. So one time, my dad and my dad's best friend, for a long time, my dad's best friend came over, and we started watching a movie. I can't remember what movie it was, but apparently, they thought they had to include commentary throughout the movie about how real it was, or about how realistic it was and stuff. So we're watching this one scene, and it was like an action scene, and they're fighting. The two guys were fighting or whatever, and then all the time you just hear, okay, that's not possible, that couldn't happen, and then they explain it. They're like, because first of all, that's So, for example, I think a couple nights ago or last night, we were watching The Crazies, and at one point, one of the people comes at them with a bone saw, or what appeared to be like a bone saw, and apparently he was trying to cut somebody with the bone saw, and they were like, "Oh, that you can't cut anybody with a bone saw unless you apply a crap load of pressure, because the saw it's not actually turning, it's just vibrating. So you can't really cut anybody with it unless you use a lot of force."
And he's just like,
and
he's just going on.
The guy was cutting
it's like,
people
no,
with
this
it.
Can't happen.
And then they were like, "No, that can't happen. That's no." And then they started explaining it, and I was like, "Come on, guys, just watch the movie." And that happened throughout the movie.
Well,
but I think it's interesting because in the movie theater, my dad doesn't say anything. Most of the time he doesn't say anything. So I think it's just interesting to see
I kind of have to
how more people are comfortable.
For me, I really can't say entirely "Hey guys, stop doing it," because once in a while I end up falling victim to end up doing it. I was like, "Hey dude, this stop part." Mm-hmm. But especially when the part where when I think the most things that really get to me is that when we start watching a movie, Zach, you've seen when we've seen a couple movies with a couple of friends together. You always see me I always end up talking, but it's the parts that I usually talk to is usually during the movie previews, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna go watch this, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I actually laugh at everyone that says stuff like that. Well, not at them, but I just laugh because I think it's funny that everyone in the theater has the same idea.
I want to watch that.
Tell the person right next to them, we should see that. I just think it's so funny that every single person is after every preview, you just hear all around the theater, and I just think it's funny.
Speaking of movie previews, Zach, you tend to have a pet peeve of how movie previews seem to do better than the movie itself.
I can't give an example. Well, I can give an example of you see a movie theater or you see a movie preview. And it's hilarious, It's I want to go see that. You do that whisper thing to your friend next to you. I want to see that. And so you're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be good. So you go, when it comes out, you can go and see it. And either none of the parts that you saw in the preview are in the movie, which pisses me off because it was funny, or they're in the movie, but, you've seen them a million times. So you see the preview, and then, it's not all that funny, and the rest of the movie isn't that funny. They give away the best parts in the preview. I hate that. I'm like, gosh.
I wouldn't say best parts, but I think I can remember specifically one movie that already gave the ending in the trailer, and no one didn't realize it until
They watch the movie
until you watch the entire movie, and then you realize that exact scene was at the end of the trailer.
Like
yeah, it was Quarantine. Mm-hmm. And if you guys haven't seen Quarantine, I'm about to destroy this entire thing, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't recommend watching Quarantine because all the mistakes that they made inside that entire movie could have easily been avoided if they used common sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Quarantine, they're showing the trailer. There's a specific scene where a girl is in the attic, and she's like, I don't know what she's doing. I can't remember. It's been so long. But she has
you've
the camera.
tried to scrape it out of your memory as best as you can.
But like she has the camera on him, and it's kind of like watching Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Like so she has a camera with her, right? She's like trying to look, like I'm trying to find lights or something, and all of a sudden she's like, "Help me!" And then she like gets dragged in the darkness, and then, bam! It shows the title, Quarantine, right?
And then the movie ends.
And then that's the trailer.
Oh yeah.
And so then when I went into the movie theater, I'm getting scared, at certain parts. Yeah. And I feel like the entire movie they're doing absolutely like the stupidest mistakes in the world.
Yeah.
Like for example, you're an old lady who's supposed to be considered infected. You're kind of just staring at her, and she's like acting at you like a zombie. I'm pretty sure you're not just gonna
walk up to her after
just walk
everything that happened.
Walk up to her and then let her start gnawing on your face, and then until you like get off and shoot her. Now that he's infected, you don't even take the sense to actually shoot him.
Well,
I mean, like, okay, so maybe it might not be him, but then there was an example where the dog got infected in the movie.
Okay.
A dog got infected in the movie, and they're like, "Oh no! Don't kill the dog. He'll be fine. He'll be fine." And it's like the dog got bit. He's infected.
Well, a lot of animals they don't contract human diseases, so.
Well, explain AIDS. Well, vice versa. Explain AIDS how monkey and somehow.
Well, that was a myth. That's a myth. How a human did that with it. Anyway, off topic completely from movie theaters and movies.
But yeah, so that movie. So like pretty much until the end of the trailer, pretty much until the end of the movie. Then they showed the exact same scene. I'm like, that was the exact
at the very end.
At the very end, and then it just ends with the credits. I'm like,
well, at least it had
wow.
It didn't give away anything. That was kind of like in the preview, you were like, oh, that person gets killed or whatever, and you know it's gonna happen, but you don't know when. So I think that's kind of okay in a way, but that's kind of you don't really want to give the ending away to your audience. About the movie theater, though, back to the movie theater. When you go to the movie theater, do you think like the food prices and the food actual quality is good enough to buy, or do you just kind of eat before?
I usually eat before when I go before I go to a movie theater because. Okay, so I've gone to Edwards Cinemas before, like many times in my life. For 2 bags of I don't know if it's 2 bags. I think it's like a bag of popcorn and 2 drinks. It's $20.
Yeah,
it's
a little too much.
It's like, I think it's like a number 1 combo. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I have a better way of spending $20. I can go to
like going to watch a movie.
No, yeah, that's my $20 right there for the tickets.
Yeah.
Or I can go out to Pat and Oscar's or eat at home.
Yeah.
And
you can go anywhere. Really.
I mean, for popcorn. I can make popcorn at my house and it would
for free.
Well, I wouldn't say 3. It'd be like maybe a couple of cents or say maybe not even $1 per bag.
Yeah, well, it's convenience more than quality that they the prices are for.
Ice cream. You know that they serve ice cream in movie theaters now, because those Nestle, the Nestle dibs, right?
Yeah.
They actually serve dibs. Like it's like, oh here, you want to buy a container of dibs and eat ice cream with it. You know how messy that'd get?
Yeah. Well, in the dark, I think it get kind of.
You're like being really. Ooh, the noises when you're eating popcorn in a movie theater. I always get paranoid.
Wait, when you're eating or when somebody else is eating?
I'm eating. Because, sometimes you can hear, sometimes people chew loudly.
Yes.
So then I'd be...
Oh, you get paranoid that other people are hating you?
Like hating on me while I'm eating popcorn. So I'm sitting there and I'm chewing on popcorn and I'm thinking, holy crap, am I making a lot of noise during this movie? It's like I shouldn't be doing it during
Who gives a crap?
I shouldn't be doing it during silent parts in a scary movie where they're trying to create some suspense and I'm ruining it by chewing.
Yeah. I don't know why they It's a whole nother thing to talk about. You know what kind of the food is, like the crunchy food, or whatever type of food you're eating in a movie theater.
Well, I haven't seen. Oh, that reminds me. I was watching America's Got Talent recently, and they were, you know how they do the auditions like in a gigantic stage, right?
Yes.
I can't remember if it was. I think it was Louisiana or like some southern state, but they were saying how, you know how in a concession stand, you know, standards like what, popcorn, nachos, you know, maybe a hot dog.
Yep.
Well, this Louisiana, like I think it was a theater. They were serving cake, like slices of cake.
What in the world? What?
They like I.
At a movie theater.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was a movie theater, but I mean, still serving a slice of cake, and it looked like the setting pretty much looked like a theater or like maybe an opera house or something.
That is very weird.
But they were serving slices of cake there, and I'm like, maybe people should. I don't know. What would you think? What would you do if you saw like slices of cake being sold at a movie theater?
I would buy one. I think just for the experience of eating a piece of cake in a movie. I think it'd be very difficult though, especially if they give you like a plastic fork and you know one of those paper plates. You're trying to hold it and like cut it at the same time, and it's all wobbly and crap. Like you know at a party or something, you try and do that. It's hard with lights on, with a freaking table. The piece of cake flops all over it. It's terrible. But I think it'd be interesting to try and do it in the dark during a movie. I think you'd hear a lot of like
scraping noises.
Like either that or it falls on the, you know, it makes that distinct like flop of food falling on the floor, and then somebody goes crap. There'd just be a lot of that.
Have you ever heard anyone like had an outburst like during a movie? I can't remember what.
You mean like Tourette's?
What do you mean, like what's Tourette's?
It's a look it up. It's you involuntarily do things because it's like a medical condition.
Well, I want to say like, I want to say like, you know, during a movie theater, if like something happens, like okay, like in a scary movie when someone, like you know, when something crazy happens or like scary happens, usually people scream, right?
Yes.
How often do you hear someone like
actually scream?
Not actually, not on top scream, but like say something like ridiculous.
Oh, like holy crap, that was scary as like
yeah,
that?
like yeah.
A lot. If it's a full theater, I think that a full theater is so much better than an empty theater. Even if you get those people that talk, you know, most of the time somebody in the audience will probably yell, "Shut up!" And then they'll either go outside and have a fight, or the guy'll shut up. So I think either way, it's a good deal.
No. Well, I've never actually heard. I've actually heard some people scream the most random things in the world. Like, you know, it's like we were watching.
My grandmother was a baker. Oh, Jesus, scary.
It'd be like in the 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's getting his chest waxed. If you remember that.
yeah.
And he's like screaming the most random.
Lindsay Lohan.
There was one. I think this guy was screaming BS. He screamed BS like at the top of his lungs at a scary scene, and I'm like, why would you scream? Why would you scream that? It's like
I don't know. Sometimes I just have like impulses to scream, and then I don't know, whatever's on my mind, I just do. I just scream. So like one instance was when I was like playing Brawl with my friend, and he like was punching me in the face, and I just yelled, "Stop fucking punching me!" And my parents were in the other room watching TV or whatever, and that probably wasn't the best thing to yell out loud. But I've had a lot of those instances where just whatever's on the top of my mind, I just scream out, even if it's like a little like, "Oh, jeez," you know, something like that. It's normal. It's like a normal thing to do. You know, when you're scared or whatever, you scream. Most of the time. How
would you really do? Like screaming BS off the top of your lungs. I mean, how can you really?
Whatever's on the top of your mind. You know, if you're like, oh no, don't do that. Don't, you know, you're thinking this in your mind. Don't do that. No, that is the stupidest thing you can do.
It would be understandable. Don't do it. It would be understandable. To like you're saying, "I told you so," or something like that. You know, but that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I think if it's a random word, it's kind of like you either were expecting that to happen and you wanted to say like the most random thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, some people can do that just for comedic purposes. Like, it's a scary movie or whatever.
And you just want to lighten up the mood.
Everyone screams, and then one guy screams potato at the top of his lungs, and everyone's like, what the potato? And then it kind of livens the mood, even though it's a scary movie.
Well, actually, the best way for me, if I'm watching a scary movie, is to actually watch it with friends. Because for some reason, when I'm watching a scary movie with friends,
you can laugh about it. No, you don't want to appear like you're scared. So
yeah, I know. I think that's one of the things. Like, I try not to be scared when I'm watching it, but I'm like just getting suspenseful, and it just, for whatever reason, I just never get scared after watching it with a friend. Like, if I'm watching it with my parents, I'm like freaking the crap out of myself right now.
I actually just peed my pants, so I'm gonna go upstairs and change, something like that. Okay, bye. Thanks for the movie.
Can't really do that with your friends. Not really.
No.
I think it's just how comfortable you are with the people that you're watching the movie with.
Yeah. All right, so I guess this is going to be the wrap up for our session.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening to Project White Rice. I can not
Very
speak anymore.
good job, Christian. Very good job. All right. So next time on Project White Rice, we will be talking about
the internet.
The internet. Oh. Yes, we actually have topics this time, so it's not just random. So from now on, we're gonna have like certain topics that we're gonna talk about.
Anyway.
So this one was movies and movie theaters, and
And next week we'll talk about the internet, and Zach will take a dump live.
Wait, what?
Later.
Goodbye. I'm still a little concerned at what you said.